Hello and welcome to another video by Yum Yum in my Tum Tum. Today we're going to be making an oven-baked risotto with roasted vegetables. We're going to need a punnet of cherry tomatoes, 3 cloves of garlic, some butternut squash, pumpkin, carrot, whichever you'd prefer, 1 whole onion cut up. Then we're going to have some dry herbs, some thyme, some basil. We're also going to add some chili flakes, some oregano. Then we're going to add some arborio rice, which is what we use to make risotto. And lastly, 4 cups of your favorite stock. We're using chicken. We cut up our vegetables, firstly with the garlic, slicing them. You don't have to get these overly thin because we're going to be roasting these for quite a while. And we do want them to take on a little bit of colour. Then we'll slice up our cherry tomatoes. I wouldn't go any further than just cutting them in half because we do want them to maintain some of their consistency. We'll get our roasting pan ready by drizzling in our olive oil. Just a reminder, please see the recipe below the video for all of the amounts. Next we'll add in our vegetables. We start with our pumpkin or butternut squash. We'll add in our chopped onion. I have made this with red onion. It does turn out very well, a little bit sweeter. We will then add in our tomatoes. Putting in our garlic. Next we'll add in all of our dry herbs. Just a reminder, so that is thyme, basil, some crushed red pepper and some oregano. Once all of the dry herbs have been added, then we're going to give it a really good stir. We want to make sure all of those vegetables get well coated with the olive oil. And I almost forgot, we actually need black pepper in this recipe. I don't typically add salt because it already has enough in the stock. Straight into a 450 degree oven for 25 minutes. While the vegetables are roasting in the oven, we're just going to lightly warm up our chicken stock. So again, 4 cups of chicken stock. We're also going to add in 1 cup of water. That just makes the risotto a little bit more liquidy. Stir the water into the chicken broth to incorporate and then bring up to a simmer. Next we're going to measure out 1.5 cups of our arborio rice. It doesn't matter if they're a little bit rounded on the top. We did add that extra water into the broth to compensate. And today I found some spinach in my fridge that I'd like to get rid of, so I am actually going to cut this up and add this to the risotto. You don't have to do that. After 25 minutes, let's remove those vegetables from the oven. We're just going to squash those tomatoes with a fork just to squeeze some of the juices and the flavour out of them. Then we're going to pour in our 1.5 cups of rice. We're going to give that a very good stir. We want to make sure all of that leftover oil and the juice out of the vegetables is coating that rice extremely well. Let's not forget to add the spinach that we just found in the fridge. We're going to stir that through and get that coated as well. This is looking almost ready to put in and bake. Smells tremendous. Let's add in the stock. We'll give it a final mix through. This does look extremely runny, but remember, arborio rice takes on a lot of moisture. And into a 400 degree Fahrenheit oven for 40 to 45 minutes, stirring once. After 45 minutes, we're going to stir through 1/2 cup of the cheese of your choice. We're using cheddar. And lastly, let's serve this up. This meal will easily feed 4 to 5 people. Yum yum!